It's episode 134 featuring a moose.
A moose.
Moose. Moose.
Why won't this capture my video?
I'm seeing you.
Oh, I'm just in case there's ever a time where we need me to stream. I was using this time to set up the overlay and all that on my end.
Yeah.
So that I would have it as well. Because that's one thing that's never been set up on my side. So...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's going to come across as scratchy. It shouldn't in the recording, though.
Okay.
So, there's that, at least.
Hooray!
I'm not coming scratchy, am I?
It's a bit personal, but no, you're not.
Okay.
Actually, everything sounds fine right now.
Okay, well, why don't you record, and then that way we'll have a backup again?
Okay. Alright.
Okay, Alpha Geek should be going.
Oh, I shouldn't have been sitting on my foot. My foot's asleep. Ben! Ben!
Yeah.
Why do I sit like that?
Because you think that that's a good idea. I don't get it.
It's so comfortable until it's not.
Yeah, what's up with that? Seriously, come on, John.
Man,
You're better than this.
I can't help it. Why did I do this to me?
I don't know.
Blood, circulate faster.
Wait, why is that? Yeah, come on, Azeroth Roundtable.
I don't even remember what I was doing. Oh, I was gonna set it up so I could record.
Yeah, thank you. Come on, Alpha Geek. Work. Work! Okay, so the video's going there.
Okay, it says it's recording a call. Is it? Is it? Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
There, see, both hands were cool.
Recording.
Okay, and Alpha Geek is going for both. Awesome. Do that, this, get rid of the video. Maybe that'll help. I lowered your sound a bit. It's not exactly helping, because considering mine is still scratchy too. What the hell? I don't get it. Whatever. I'm not dealing with it anymore.
I can't move my foot.
Have you tried up and down?
Ben.
Yes.
Ben.
Yes?
Dagobah. Dagobah system.
You ever wonder if Han was just kind of like, okay, he's dead.
He just shows up. Ben. Dagobah. Dagobah system. Ben. Kid. Shut the about Dagobah.
Nice use there. Nice use.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Good job.
Figure it's less editing for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, it'd help if I was recording. All right. Well, let's start this off so that we can make more Mario levels. I've got to beat yours so that I can be like the one that is like the 0% clear.
Yes.
And you have to beat Sarah's so that you're like the 0.02% clear on that one.
Yeah, I still gotta... Oh, I don't want to even try to beat it. It's gonna be rough business.
Yes, definitely.
Rough business.
Woof. All right, we're tweeted out. We're streaming. We're recording.
Yeah, we're all tweeted out, people.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. We're
Woo!
tweeters. I'm gonna retweet the tweet.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, let's go with.
I did it.
Thank you.
Retweeted the tweet.
Hey! Hey everybody, you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable. My name is Ben, and you're listening to... I forgot how we start the show.
Wow, that was just all manner of things. What happened there? What was that?
I don't know,
what
something...
Was the voice?
Let's try this.
I was so shocked I'm spitting on myself.
Don't touch that dial. Up next is Azeroth Roundtable with Ben and John.
Oh wait, hold on.
Do you have a Vuvuzuela or whatever?
Okay.
Okay.
One more time.
Okay. Up next, Azeroth Roundtable with Ben and John. Next. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 134. My name is Ben Bumhofer, and with me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hi, Ben. Good. I'm happy to be here. Been
So am
feeling
I.
a little under the weather, but I took drugs.
Oh.
Legal drugs.
Oh.
And I'm feeling better now, and that might be the legal drugs talking, or I might be getting better. Either one of those, good options.
Oh, see, I thought at first that you were going to go with under the weather because, you know, we're actually having rain and stuff here.
We are, for once, actually under weather.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I'm happy about that. Seriously, I didn't know that you were feeling sick. That sucks.
Yeah, we saw a car turned upside down today.
Yes. Well, we were there in the aftermath. It was already upside down.
It's weird.
Yeah. Do you think it was the Hulk?
I'm 90% sure it was the Hulk.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that. But it looked like everybody was okay because there was no one like... You know, let's not start off with a bummer like that.
Yeah, let's not. Hey, Ben, I got something to tell you. Let's kick it off with this. Let's bring it back.
Okay, bringing it back.
So we changed things up a little bit here on this show. People either noticed or they didn't, but either way, we changed it up. We've tried to keep it real casual conversations about WoW. And we did that for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons, not a lot of news to talk about. That's all changed today, Ben.
Oh my god. Well, not today. It was like, Wednesday? Tuesday?
It's changed. The exciting news is it's here. The news is here, and we can finally tell everybody that you can pick up your official Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt at slashloot.com. Just click on podcast, pick up a shirt. We really appreciate it. It helps us out. But that wasn't the only news we found out this week, Ben.
What other news is there, John?
There's going to be another patch.
I know. You know what? And the thing is do you remember all those weeks ago when Blizzard said, yeah, we're not going to do another content patch. There's no way that we're going to, no more raids, no more anything else. We're not going to do another content patch. Are they keeping their word, John?
Yeah, because this patch contains no content.
I know, that's... Okay, but before we get into this, I think we need to state something, because we like to look at things in a certain way on the show. We like to stay positive, despite all the things that John likes to say and, whine about and stuff like that. I'm definitely a very positive person, and here's the biggest thing that we can possibly say, is that the content and everything that is happening with patch 6.2.3... some people are very happy about, and for them, I am excited. Because if that is what you need for WoW to be exactly where you need it with what you want, and it's fulfilling everything that you want, I am so happy for you. That is great.
Yep. I want to make it clear, because I have a habit of perhaps not making it clear enough right up front. I think this is cool. If you remember Siege of Orgrimmar, we spent a year in that place. I actually quit the game for a little bit because we had spent an entire year and they were just like, hey, we're putting something in the game. Oh, what? A mount? Yep. And it's going to be in the mount store, everybody. So hit up the store.
Yep, you can buy it over here.
First bit of new content in an entire year, and it's in the store. So let me make it very clear. I'm super excited. They are putting something in the game for people to actually work towards and do. I think that's fantastic. And I think for the people that this patch gives you something, That's awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
That said, we have had people compare it to Ruby Sanctum.
This isn't Ruby Sanctum, and
Right,
it's not because you get a mount.
Ruby Sanctum
hold on.
content, Ben.
Yeah, Ruby Sanctum was a raid, albeit it was a crappy raid. It was still a raid. This is, and again, for some people this is great, but when I saw the news, it came to me as they're bribing me to come back into the game. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily go that far.
Okay,
but
they're enticing me to come back into the game.
Yes, they are trying to give the people that are participating in the major part of what is endgame, which is raiding.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to give them an incentive for something to continue to work towards and continue to do.
Yeah.
Basically, to the people raiding, they are saying one of two things. They're saying,
keep it up.
Please don't go. Keep going. There's going to be rewards. There's going to be stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're saying, hey, we know you haven't seen all the content yet. You haven't gotten through it. Here's some stuff that might make it a little bit easier, which is also not uncommon. They usually will somewhat trivialize the raid as we're moving into a new expansion. So that's fine. That's not new territory.
Yeah. The thing that I like is that they are actually giving us gear upgrades again. Although, I mean, they're bringing back Valor, which is something that they got rid of because they never wanted to, have another weird multiple currency thing going on. And then we got Time War badges, and then we got Valor coming too, which is fine. It gives us a way to upgrade gear and all that stuff, and that's great. But the thing is that they're not adding content. That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, there's new content. No, there's not. Yeah. If they gave us a new dungeon, if they gave us... Oh, no, actually, I take that back. John, there is content. There's a single quest that, if you're rating Heroic or Mythic, will take you to Moonglade so you can find out what's been happening in Azeroth. If you're doing Heroic or Mythic. So I'm guessing that the incentive is for, okay, the people who are doing Heroic, you get a moose. Congratulations, you've been doing what we've wanted you to do. If you move up to Mythic, that's great. You're not going to have, anything new, just, a higher difficulty of raid. If you've been doing Mythic, congratulations, you've been doing everything that we wanted you to do. Upgrade your gear for more power. Meanwhile, our raid team, which is, very much a friends and family, where we were happy doing Flex back in Siege. We're happy doing we're doing normal, and they're finally tuning that down to where it's more equal to Flex. That's great. This is supposed to be more of an incentive for us to move forward into Heroic, as far as I can tell. Because there's no way that we're getting this bit of story content.
Yeah. And I think it's unfortunate that the story bit is on there. I mean, we'll see how good it is. I mean, odds are I'll probably YouTube it and be like, what happened? Okay. Great. There were druids. They like mooses.
Yeah.
Have a moose.
Moosin'.
Like, I don't think it's not like they have put the greatest quest in the world behind it, or at least I don't think so. We'll see. But I do agree, what they are adding impacts me none at all. I don't like Cataclysm dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Well, why does that matter in this, John?
So, part of this news, they are adding a new time walking event, which we already know I'm not a big fan of time walking events. Mm-hmm. Whatever. It is what it is. They're adding some of the Cataclysm dungeons to it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I know a lot of people like that. Like those dungeons, and I will say there are a few in there that I do like. Like End of Time is fantastic. I really like that one. So it's not like they just went through and added all the worst. But the problem is I can't queue up specifically for the ones I want, and most of them I don't like.
Yeah, so I would love it if all three of the End of Time ones were available, because those were really well done dungeons.
Yeah, I'd love to go into any one of those three. I'd be totally happy, but I don't want to do Stone Core. I don't want to do the
Grim Battle
one. I really don't want to do Grim Battle. Like, I would rather poke myself with a knife instead of doing Grim Batal again. So it's not my cup of tea. And again, I don't want to come across like I'm saying everybody needs to agree with me, because I don't. This content is content for people, or whether you call it content or not, that's kind of semantics. But you know, I got excited when I heard there was going to be a new patch. I went through, and that doesn't add anything to me. The changes to the rating isn't enough to get me excited about going in and raiding. There's no real incentive to it. The closest it might get is I might participate in a Lich King time walking just to see if I get the mount.
Yeah.
But we just talked about it last week. Like, I even stopped collecting mounts. Like, I'm not going to use it. I'll just have it and be like, oh yeah, I got the mount. That's cool.
Yeah.
Into the bag with the other mounts you go.
Although that dragon, though, is really cool looking.
It is very cool looking. It's probably one of the coolest looking dragons in the game. So that's there. If you guys are digging raiding, if you guys are digging dungeons,
good.
Awesome.
There's stuff for you. Yeah. But that's kind of been one of the problems that you know, we always talk about near the end of an expansion cycle, is that it does focus on raids and dungeons. And this time we're actually lucky that, you know, there's raiding content. We didn't get any new dungeon content, but I don't know if that's because of how Blizzard implemented them. I don't know if that's the dungeons themselves. I really don't know. Like, numbers of running dungeons are down.
Yeah.
So
I will say, Ro in the chat room brings up a good question that we can kind of branch into a little bit with this, because I don't want this to turn into us just trying to say, like, this isn't content for us, and just being upset about it, because, you know.
Before you do that, actually, there's one other thing that I want to say about the Moose mount, because I know that's been a huge topic of complaint, is that, you know, if you're doing Heroic or Mythic, you get a Moose mount if you beat, you know, Archimonde. So, remember, we're audio sometimes, too.
I wasn't meaning to derail you.
I know. It happens. Anyways, so here's the thing. There was this specific mount that was available in Siege of Orgrimmar as well, only to heroic players. And I think Normal got it too, didn't they? Because it was Flex and LFR that did.
Normal got it. Flex mode didn't. We got all the achievements except for the one that would unlock it, which required it to be normal or higher.
Yeah, which was weird. But so here's the thing. I was bummed because I really liked the look of the mount, just because I'm a big fan of the different wargs and everything like that. Then all of a sudden, Warlords came, and there's 500 different new warg mounts with a new model. You know, like the animal part is the new model, the saddle and harness and everything like that from the Cochrane warg is different. So that's how it distinguishes and everything like that. But you get the actual animal itself. That's cool. I'm okay with that distinction. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't. Because they didn't get that specific version, it didn't work. And I think that it's fine that it's not available in all of the different, you know, difficulties and everything. But at the same time, it's tough. And I'm not just saying it because I run normal, but it's tough when, you know, you're making more of an effort than hopping into like the LFR queue. You're actually pulling a team together, working for the difficulty that you can do towards essentially kind of the same goals and not getting the same type of rewards, if that makes sense.
Well, it gives you, you know, they always say, like, and Blizzard devs will say this to you as well. They'll say, hey, when you're critiquing the game, which they love to hear when people critique, they say, use the word feel. You know, does this feel good? Does this not feel good? To me, if I don't have a ton of room to talk because I'm not even rating with you guys right now, but if I was rating what they have dubbed normal difficulty, and I'm putting in the time with the team and I'm doing the things that's required, it feels like Blizzard doesn't care about this set of players if they're saying, well, everyone's going to get a reward except for you guys for doing essentially the same content, but a little bit easier. But again, play devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
They have decided to say that this is going to be a reward mount for higher difficulties.
And
like they've made no statement saying like this is a mount for raiders. Like they've just said this is a mount for heroic and mythic raiders.
Yeah.
And they've been upfront about that. I think my problem with the warg was that it was presented as the reward for completing all of these achievements, and you could earn those achievements in flex mode. No. Except for the one last one where it was...
that's not what it was. The warg was you get the achievement for killing Garrosh. You get the warg. The achievement for the whole raid is the Galakras Proto Drake.
Oh.
And you can still go back and do those. Because we'd never finished all those achievements.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We're close. There's like 3 that we need or something like that. But, yeah. But, okay, so... Other point, like I get that, and that's why it's not bugging me too much, in the fact that I know that once Legion comes out, there's going to be more than one moose mount, just like there's more than one warg mount. The big thing with me though is that the first moose that we get, or the first moose that we saw, was in the Legion like announcement trailer, and now the first one that you can get is by doing the harder difficulties on, you know, heroic or mythic. Why didn't they have some sort of different mount that they can do for that, make it a little bit more special?
Yeah.
Like, and I say that meaning I will never get it. And I'm saying those people, if they're going to hold them to that higher standard, they deserve something special and different.
Yeah. I will say this, though. This is kind of my one stance on the moose mount. And I absolutely mean this, and I'm sure it's going to have some people upset, but I don't care. I am much happier having it be a mount that I will never get, and I will never get this mount, than have it dropped in the store.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of with you on that.
So, for anybody that's like, you're upset because you're not going to get it. I mean, I'd love to get it. Not that I would use it, but I would love to get it because I still tend to like to get the mounts.
It looks really cool, too.
But I would rather not get it and have it in the game than guaranteed get it or be able to purchase it in the store. So, you know, that's something, anybody out there who's upset about the moose, I think ask yourself that question. Would you have rather they just dumped this into the store, you logged in, paid your $25 or whatever, you got a mount, so did zillion other people, so you didn't really want to ride it because you were all on a friggin' moose, and then that was it? There was nothing else tied to it? Like, that's always been disappointing every time. So, I'm much happier with this.
So, question for you. Just kind of along the same lines. So, you have the mythic moose that you get from the, you know, the killing of Archimonde and everything, right? That's there. If there was a different colored version in the store, how would you feel about that?
I think it kind of diminishes it a little bit. Personally, I think if you're going to... First of all, I don't think that store mounts should be just recolors of mounts that are already in the game. If you're going to ask for the price that they ask for mounts, you should feel like you're getting something special for that, and not just, oh, I got a recolored version of some reward mount.
For $25!
Likewise, on the other end of the spectrum, I don't feel like, for the people who put in the time and the effort, I don't feel like it's good for them to see everybody riding around on a moose, and the only difference between that and what they have is the color. So, I don't know. I don't want to see a color variation in the store or anything. Now, if later going into Legion or something like that, you can get a different color variation or a different style or something like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think putting it in the store and saying, well, this one is gray, like, I don't want that.
Okay, Billy D. You totally sound like Billy D. Williams for a second. This one's gray.
What do we have here? A gray moose. You truly belong with us among the clouds.
And the moose. I'd watch that movie. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to split off on that, and considering the moose is like the big contention with a lot of people, I saw in the chat room, I think it was Ro who asked, and I'll kind of get back to it. If the story and the lore wasn't locked behind those two difficulties, would you have any issue with any of it at all?
I don't have an issue with it now. Like, I don't like that there's story tied to it. I don't, but that's been my stance from day one on this expansion. Don't tie story into purely raid-focused only content. And really don't tie story into only certain difficulty level raid content. Like, the story should be the part of the game that's available to everybody. Like, to me, that's a common sense thing. Like, no offense to the people at Blizzard, but, hey, people should be able to get your story. They should be able to see the story of the expansion, regardless of how they play. Whether they're PvPers, PvEers, maybe the people that just live at the bank don't get to see the story, but hey, it shouldn't be that difficult for them to get out there and do it. So don't put your story behind anything, any sort of wall. Make it accessible. But again, I don't think it's going to be anything interesting. It's going to be, I looted a thing. All right, now I'm going to go to Moonglade. Hey, here's the thing. They're like, sweet job, bro. You get a moose, and then we're off.
And someone does a little dance and da 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 da.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be like forming the Quell Dalar or anything like that. I mean, if it is, then yes, I will have an issue with it. But I don't think it's going to be anything fancier than, congratulations, you did a thing. Here's a moose.
Or like, hey, while you were gone, this orc came and left all of these these messages for you. Then you get like a stack of, while you were out, like sticky notes and stuff. And turns out, oh, there's a whole bunch of demons coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
The end. Da, 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 da.
So yeah, so I have no. I mean, what about you? It sounds like you're probably a little more invested in the moose. Like, does that make a difference to you?
The thing is yeah, I'm going into it entirely knowing that I'm not going to get it. Okay, I'm not even going to attempt to try to raise money and buy myself a run, or I don't care about that. I am a little upset that I don't get to see the story content in game. Now, I play this game for the story. I really enjoyed leveling. I enjoy, all the different stuff that you actually do see. And even though I've been completing the legendary quests and everything like that, I don't like the fact that that story content was gated. It's been something that I've talked about a lot. You and I, we've had this discussion over and over again. For people who think that Blizzard does listen to the show, maybe not. So,
right.
But locking it back there, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that going into the next expansion, having a questline that says, hey, this is what's been going on, and just limiting it to people, it doesn't feel right. Because there are people who only like, PvP, and they've been fighting in Ashran. I guess it doesn't matter that they know what's been going on when they move forward. Who cares? You've been fighting the Alliance. Good job. Or the Horde. Not so good job. But the Alliance. Good job.
I think it's a totally fair criticism. I just don't think that it's a fair criticism, or I don't think that it's a criticism we can levy just yet.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to say, hey, this is going to be a problem. And I think, if there's one thing that this concerns me about, like if you wanted to say, because honestly, I'm kind of just neutral on this whole patch. Like, there's nothing in there that I'm just like, oh, this is the worst. There's nothing in there that I'm excited about either, but I'm glad it's out there for the people that it's out there for. But if there's one thing that does concern me a little bit about this patch, is it feels a little tone deaf to the issues that WoW currently has. And what I truly believe is that they are working heavily on Legion. They want to put something out there to keep people motivated. This is what they were able to put together. This is what we're getting.
Yeah, that I completely agree with.
What the paranoid part of me kind of believes, or I wouldn't even say believes, what worries me is that this is an indication that Blizzard still really doesn't get it. Like, I think if I had a big complaint about Warlords, it's that this expansion felt like a great big them going, I don't know. Like, we don't know what you want anymore, and we don't know how to make things better. So,
well, let me ask you this. Okay, we know that expansions are worked on well in advance. We know that patches worked on well in advance. Because this isn't a content patch, I can kind of go with you on the whole crap. We got to give them something because it's not going to be released, near as soon as we would like. So that makes sense. But I really feel that 6.2, like, when it did hit, they tried to address stuff as much as they could, but they were so far in the process of developing that at that point that they couldn't. They couldn't change it. Like, okay, you're on a track. You're going. There might be a switch track up ahead, but guess what? You're still going to the same destination.
Right.
You couldn't really get there any different. Since they weren't actually planning for any content, I'm glad that something's coming in, which is great. For me, the thing that I'm excited about is that, you know what, I will be able to upgrade my gear, assuming I do enough dungeons to get Valor. I mean, I'm going to be running the raids anyway, so that's going to help my raid team get a little bit better and, help us progress to the point where we can get to Archimonde on normal. So that's a plus. Time walking, I love doing the Lich King ones. So, you know what, I have a chance for a mount to drop for that. That's awesome, because that mount is really cool. The rest of those tokens I don't really care too much about, so, as I'm going through and doing stuff, great, I'll get the whatever, I don't even remember what it was at the end of the Lich King stuff anyway. I'll get that mount by getting tokens and maybe get a dragon. Other than that, though, there's not a lot of motivation. I mean, I might jump into Cataclysm just to kind of be like, oh yeah, these dungeons, haha, or something like that. And
maybe I'll get a good one.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't read anything on the PvP side of things, so I don't know what's going on with that.
So let me go back. Let's roll back. Let's answer Ro's original question, because
okay.
I thought it was a good one.
Okay.
He asked us, what kind of content were you looking for? And I'm going to go ahead and modify his question in my answer, so I'll kind of ask you that question as I answer, because I think you're probably in the same boat as this initial one.
Okay.
The answer is, I wasn't looking for any content. I had no belief that we were getting anything until we were getting the pre-Legion stuff. So anything that happens between then and now is a bonus.
Yeah.
Now, I don't particularly care about this bonus, but I wasn't looking for anything. I had pretty much just said, all right, WoW, thanks. I'll see you at Legion. Besides when because I do log in almost every week, usually almost every day. So it's not like I'm not playing. I'm just not playing as much. And so I wasn't really looking for anything. So I'm going to modify Ro's question and ask you it this way. What kind of content could they add between now and Legion that would get you excited?
Well, first of all, to address the original idea, I'm in the same boat. I mean, we totally agree. I didn't expect anything, so cool. To say it again, to the point of us really beating a dead horse here, we're glad something's in the game. That's great. So we're not saying that anymore, okay? Just remember, we're happy it's there. But that's the thing. I wouldn't want them to kind of, half-ass and put another Ruby Sanctum in. Like, okay, granted, I'm sure it wasn't a half-ass. I know a lot of people put a lot of work into that. But it really, it didn't serve much of a purpose at that point during Lich King when that came out. So if they did something similar to that, it's like, okay, well, our raid team, we're still working through Hellfire. Okay, we're done with Hellfire. Are we going to go into something small like that? Maybe to try to see the content. Or you know what? Maybe we'll wait until the next expansion, then come back in when it's going to be way easy and we can just see it once. Something like that. Putting in more story and everything like that, that is going to be the pre-Legion stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not saying that there's going to be like huge long quest lines, but the stuff leading up to Draenor, it was pretty cool. Went through, did a quest line, got a pet at the end, and it really set us up for Draenor. That's what I'm looking forward to. So anything that they put in like the meantime, it's just such a stopgap that it's not really worth anything. You can't put story in because they've already got the continuity set up for the next expansion. Can't put a raid in because there's really no point. If there were going to be dungeons that come in, it would have come in at, 6.2. So I can't think of anything that would be worthwhile.
Yeah.
So Blizzard really did the best that they could to put something in there. And time walking is one way to do it. But I want to pick what dungeons I do. Ever since you said that, I'm like, damn it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'll give you some.
Okay.
I've been mulling this over because I've been thinking about it a lot. I've heard a lot of people talk lately about Destiny. Destiny's been a big topic lately because Destiny was a game that came out. A lot of people, including myself, wanted to like the game very much.
Yeah.
Despite the game really not wanting me to like it. They've hit their first year. They've put out, the first bit of content for year 2, a big new expansion pack, and it's really good. Mm-hmm. And I've been having a ton of fun, and I've invested a ton of time into it. Likewise, I take a look at games like Diablo. I got pulled into this season of Diablo like crazy. My seasonal character from the season that just started, a couple months ago or however long it was, is the highest level Diablo character I've ever had, and the most powerful. Fell into that in a big bad way. And I look at it and I say, okay, you have Destiny, which added a little bit of new content, but mostly was revamping systems. And you look at Diablo, which literally is the same content that it's been across the board. What have they done in those games to make me more excited to get back in and play those that WoW fails to do every year with raiding?
Well, hopefully it's not become a loot pinata, because if that's the only thing that's bringing you back, then I will never enjoy those games to the extent that you do.
Well, Ben, you may or may not like this idea. But I don't care. This is my idea, so you need to just listen. Mm-hmm. So, we're at the end of the expansion. This is the time to break the game.
Yeah.
And in a way, they're doing that. They're giving you Valor, so you can upgrade the gear you've got. Woo, I get Valor, I go to a guy, I talk to him, he goes, bing! And the numbers on my gear get bigger.
Hold on, I don't think I quite got that. How does that go again?
He goes, bing! And the numbers on my gear get bigger.
Whoa.
It is the most uninteresting process in the world. And it's also one that you don't feel any immediate effect of. It's well, my number's bigger, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the same rotation that I always do and do this.
Well, and we don't know. Well, I don't know if we know, but it's only going to be like another 4 or 8 levels again or something like that. So it's not even a huge jump.
Yeah, it's not massive, and so my thought is, if you're going to break your game, if you're going to say all right, well, now it's time for people to jump up to new power levels and let's trivialize this content. Really swing for the damn fences. Make it exciting. Put in special augments that you can put on gear that give you crazy boosts to your abilities that you already have. Make it tied to your tier gear. Apply this augment to the tier headpiece, and now you can cast whatever off the global cooldown and cast it multiple times.
It costs no mana.
Build sets that are interesting, give people something else that can potentially drop. So another, yes, RNG, so to a degree, loot pinata, but no more than what WoW already is.
Yeah.
And make the game exciting and feel fun with it, as opposed to just well, your numbers got bigger. Change it up. Make things crazy. This should be the most fun time in the game, because we've done the try-hard progression, we've done the race to world first, we've gotten through all that crap. Now just go nuts with it. Well, it should be a party until the next expansion.
Okay, let's walk through this, because it sounds like we can build something that we'd both be happy with. Like, totally be happy with. Okay, so I like the idea of augmenting stuff and, for lack of a better description, going Super Saiyan with your gear.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, I think that we have to have a baseline of your current gear needs to be at this, like, item level or something like that to kind of show, hey, I've actually progressed, I've done this, and gotten to this point. What do you think?
What do you mean? What's
like, okay, to put it in other standards, like flying in Draenor had specific things that you needed to do. So in order to start getting these like great augments, your gear level or your item level needs to be like to this one point, showing us like, hey, you know, you've been raiding or you've gotten a lot of baleful pieces upgraded to show that you're putting in a lot of work to, you know, get your item level up to a certain point. So then after that, maybe a new gear specialization will unlock that you can choose, and then those augments will actually drop.
I disagree, because I think the one that they can build into it normally, make it what you're rating. Make a base level kind of okay one for LFR. Maybe some cooler stuff drops in normal. Then add different stuff for heroic and different stuff for mythic.
So you're basically doing torment levels at that point.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Because that's the thing is Blizzard clearly wants you as players. And I think most people know this, but Blizzard clearly wants you as players to go through LFR and say, well, let me give normal rating a try.
Yeah.
And then they want you to go through normal and say, all right, well, now this is easy. Let's bump it up to heroic. Mythic is kind of its own beast. They should probably figure out something to do with Mythic, because I feel like it is disconnected from this problem. But they want you to climb these tiers. And maybe Mythic doesn't get this stuff, because that is where it's supposed to be challenging and hard. Maybe you don't break Mythic. Maybe Mythic stays the way it is. But push people to make that progression. Just like in Diablo, with the Torment levels, there's incentives for jumping up. And then, when you release a moose that is only available in heroic, that's just an added bonus for people to push towards.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. How is that different than getting better gear that's dropping now, and then, like in normal, and then moving to heroic?
Because just getting gear that has higher numbers is boring.
Okay. Then you're going to have to define this more, because what you're saying sounds like the progression that's already in there. Like, I get that you're saying, okay, add this augment, and then this happens, and stuff like that, but you think that that should just be dropping while you're rating normally anyway, or should it like come in, like, say, I don't know, half a patch later or something like that, where all of a sudden, hey guys, guess what? These are going to be sprinkling down from the bosses too.
This is a... I'm speaking from purely a where we are in this expansion standpoint.
Okay, so it would be around this time where
right.
the current patch has been out for, like, say, what, 6 months now? Something like that?
Yeah, I'm not talking about day one I'm getting game-breaking things, although if they want to balance around it and build that into the game, why not? I would love for my gear to be more interesting in WoW. Like, really love for it. More often than not, the set bonuses of the tier sets feel like ways of undoing nerfs that they've done to classes. Like, oh, their rogue energy is regenning way too fast. Let's nerf it. Okay, well, what are we going to do for a set bonus? Well, we'll make their energy regen faster. Like, it never really feels like a big, huge bonus. It always just kind of feels like, all right, it's better, sure.
Yeah, to the point where, like, some of those tier bonuses are necessary until, like, 2 tiers later.
Yeah. Like, you know what felt really cool? The legendary cloak for DPS, where you got the big tiger slashes in front of you, and you did massive AoE damage to everything in front of you. I was so sad when I had to give up my legendary cloak and lose that. Like, that was a cool boost. If they put that kind of stuff on the gear that you could get in the raids, like these cool bonuses that you could pick, like... Forget, oh, well, I want the piece that has multi-strike, or I want the piece that has this. Put on cool friggin' effects.
I want the piece that makes it, when I cast this thing, a huge explosion appears around me and, like, wipes out anything that's, like, puny.
Yes. Put in cool stuff like that, and I will be back into raiding in I don't know, fast.
Okay, well then,
say.
let's define the stuff a little bit more. Do you want it to be, because I like that idea. If when you said you can kind of choose your effects, what if an augment piece drops, and depending on which one you put in, like what piece you attach it to, that effect changes, versus, oh, the hand one dropped today. Like, which would you prefer? Or do you think that'd be like too easy to just like get the one thing that you need and then you don't need it anymore?
Yeah, I think it needs to be something like, I do think there needs to be some level of randomness to it. Like there needs to be, so I know you hate loot pinatas or slot machines or whatever, but here's the part that you haven't gotten to in Diablo and a lot of people haven't gotten to in Destiny that I think generally don't like those games, don't know about, and therefore I don't know if their opinion on it is completely accurate. It might be that once you experience it, you're still like, it's still not for me, and that's fine. But one thing to keep in mind about that game is they have built in a large amount of tools to cheat the RNG. So during the leveling process in a game like Diablo, it very much is, well, oh, I got lucky and this dropped for me. You know, this 1 in a million thing just dropped for me. That's cool. Once you get to max level, there are ways to tweak it. It's not 100% guarantee, but there are easy ways to shift the numbers in your favor so that you can focus in and actually work towards what you want. And I think those kinds of systems could be put into WoW where it's like, you know what? I saw online that there's this thing that I can attach to my gloves, and anytime I throw a punch, electricity arcs through all nearby enemies. That sounds awesome. I really want those. So I'm going to use my emblems, whatever mechanic they want to put in, to increase the drop rate. Or maybe I get an augment and it lets me re-roll for a different augment, or, you know, moves to a different slot, kind of like what they do with the generic, like,
the bonus
pieces
rolls?
From like the Timeless Isle, or from this, I can't think of the place, the new zone,
Tanan.
Tanan. I was like, the woods, the forest. It's not really
the green place.
The green place.
Yes, with the
where they
with the
went
mothers.
to in Mad Max. Yes, with the many mothers.
Many mothers, right?
Like, just that stuff would be cool. I just feel like there's so many games right now that have made loot really cool, and WoW has still kind of just made loot numbers on some cool art that you may or may not like and transmog anyway. And I'd love to see them mess with that a little bit more.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just haven't gotten to the point for a, you know, a Loot Pinata game to actually be enjoyable for me. And because this is going to be blasphemy to probably you and 90% of the audience.
Yep.
But
I already know where you're going, and I'm already sad. But please continue.
It's annoying. All the gear that drops, it's annoying. Because if it's an upgrade, yay. If not, okay, I'm just selling it and getting rid of it. I'm spending more time comparing gear than I am playing the game. It's not fun. And the thing is I'm not in it for, okay, the next great piece, the next great piece. I mean, you know, Scott's mentioned that on many shows. You've talked to me about like, oh, the next one that drops could be the one. I'm like, to me, it's like just a different form of gambling where you're just addicted to the next thing, the next big high of this piece of gear I got.
Well, what's different from that and from what's in WoW? Like, that's the problem, is like, to me, Diablo and WoW might as well be the same thing, except that I feel like Diablo's gear is interesting and WoW's isn't.
Yeah, but see, that we've talked about this before a long time ago. That's one of the big differences between you and me. Like, yeah, you know, gear is great and everything, but that's not why I play the game. I play it because, you know, a big thing is the story and everything like that. You know, I like leveling up and, you know, experiencing the different characters and everything like that. But even more so, I raid for the people that I raid with. If it gets to the point where it's just not fun, I don't do it. But I'm enjoying my time with the people that I'm running in there with, even on a frustrating night. Even if I'm getting yelled at for talking about anime, it's still fun for me, and that's why I go.
Right, but what I'm suggesting isn't, well, Ben, it's going to drop loot, so now you don't need to talk to anybody anymore. Like, those mechanics are still going to be in the game. The difference is that instead of, hey, we killed the boss and I picked up my loot, and once I do my enchantments and stuff to this, these numbers will be higher, and so therefore this will be better, and so I will equip it.
Yeah.
Now, you can actually be like, holy crap, guys, the whatever shoulders dropped. I can now drop a meteor on this whole planet and kill us all if I should feel it necessary.
Yeah, and see, that's where that doesn't happen in WoW, and I like the idea of more of an augment of something like that happening than just the piece of gear itself. Like, I'm separating them out so much that, like, the idea of this separate thing is so much more intriguing to me than, oh, I'm just getting more gear. Because to me, Diablo it's just more gear over and over again. And again, maybe it's because I'm not high enough level that the legendary stuff that drops never does anything cool for me, to the point where I don't really care.
I don't know. I don't get where you're drawing the line here. What I don't understand is, I'm telling you, it is the exact same thing as what you have right now, except the gear is better, and you're like, I don't want it better. Why? Where's
it's not
the
that I'm
line
saying that I
there?
don't want it better. I'm saying I don't want it to be a loot pinata of the point of, okay, I'm going through and 20,000 things are being thrown at me.
No,
I don't
it's
give
not,
a crap about that stuff.
It's not that bad.
I know. I'm
that's
saying
what my idea is. That's not the idea. The idea
Okay.
is, it's you kill a boss, right?
yeah, and you get something that gives you a really cool ability. That I get. I was talking specifically about why I don't like Diablo like other people do. From descriptions that I've heard from other people, it's loot pinata of, look at all this loot that's coming in. Like, I'm being showered with loot so much that the economy for loot is through the roof because inflation's insane because there's pieces everywhere. Stop shaking your head. I know.
You're just disappointing, Ben.
I know. I always am. You know that.
You hate fun. You hate loot. You had no problem taking my damn Brewfest RAM. You wanted that loot, apparently.
Yeah.
So, anyway, no.
You don't
it's
collect
not-
mounts, though, so it doesn't matter.
It's not a gajillion pounds of loot dropping from every boss. It is better loot dropping from the bosses that exist, and maybe a wider pool of potential item drops. But not in the sense of in the same sense of what we have now, actually, because right now, when a boss drops loot, there is no guarantee on what stats you're going to get for that. Could be Warforged, it could have multi-strike, or it could have something else on it. I only care about multi-strike, so it's the only one I ever remember.
Okay, so let me put it this way. What you're suggesting is that when you kill a boss, instead of, okay, on this boss there's a pair of leather gloves that I can have.
Right.
What you're saying is, on this boss, there are 27 different types of leather gloves that could drop, and they each have something really freaking cool that happens with them. As opposed to,
seems like an awfully specific number, but yes, there would be multiple different variations and versions.
okay, well, I'm saying is that there's variety, and it's not just this one has multi-strike and crit, whereas this one has versatility and multi-strike. It's this one has whatever stats it has, and holy crap, when I heal, this healing dragon flies through the entire raid and acts as an AoE.
Right.
Okay, or this big splash of lightning hits in all these different spots, and if one of the raid members stands in them, they get healed.
Right.
Okay, that I'm okay with.
All right, we won Ben over. We did it. We got him. He's gonna play a loot game.
No. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird thing with me. You know, Diablo, I've seen the story. I enjoy it. It's cool and stuff, except for the ending of Reaper of Souls. But I'm done. Like, it's not the same sort of drive as WoW is with me. I don't know. And, like, I get what you're saying of the gear differences, and that's fine. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just weird. Forget it.
Chatty's carrot made me laugh.
Yeah. Ben likes loot again.
Ben likes loot again. Yay, we got him. We got him on board. No, I understand. We all have genres, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might not be your genre.
Yeah, and I know that. That's one of the reasons why when I found out it's like, oh, I got to get to level 70 in Diablo for a seasonal character. Okay.
That
I'll do it.
said, I feel like if you were in a group with 3 other people and just laughing it up and having a good time and just talking about whatever and just joking around, you might feel differently about it.
Maybe.
So,
maybe. I don't know. But see, that's the weird thing is I like Heroes so much more than Diablo, and that has absolutely nothing to do with loot.
right.
Again, different genres. That's the only thing I can come up with, and that's a horrible,
It's
horrible
weird,
thing.
though, and so here's an interesting bit of food for thought.
Mhm.
So that's how I played Diablo this season. Like I said,
Yeah.
the most I ever played this season. We went to Greed's Realm because the group of people that I was playing with, anytime we got the I can't think of what it's called now, but there's a ring that if you put in the new Kanai's cube, it just takes you to Greed's Realm. We kept getting them dropping, and we would go to Greed's Realm sometimes 5 times in one night.
Yeah.
The end result is we all have billions of gold right now because we just kept going there. And the amount of fun, just like stories and all of that as we went through, was a total blast. If I'm by myself, I maybe play Diablo for an hour. And then it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm good, I'm done. Heroes of the Storm, one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game to play right now. If I log in by myself, I might do a match or 2. If I log in with my group, I will sometimes lose an entire evening of my life because of
Yeah.
it. It's the way these games have trended for me. You know, WoW right now, the biggest thing that draws me to WoW, and unfortunately I'm not into the game enough to where it is even enough, but Raid Night, like, that's the part of WoW that I still enjoy. And like I said, we have a deal, if you remember, from last week. I got a raid with you guys sometime this week.
And I did text you
Or
to say, hey, this is
month.
what we're doing. But unfortunately, you got it late.
I was in the zone, Ben.
I know.
I was making Mario levels.
Yep. Because you
Guess
definitely
what?
can't pause that.
No. Well, I had my phone in another room. But even that, you know, I look at a game like Mario Maker, and it was fun when I was just in there making levels. It is more fun when I know that I can make a nightmarish creation and be like, here, Ben, try. And you can in turn be like, hey, John, I made a level. It's my first one, so it's kind of basic. And then I can die a million times and go, Ben is a horrible person. And
But I'm
when
not. I didn't mean to be.
You put a piranha plant on a trampoline.
Hey, it had wings. You can get under it. I never died at that part when I was play testing and when I went through it.
Well, let me tell you, I died at that thing a lot.
Never died.
Then for some reason it clicked with me, and now I think I would never die there. But at the time, it hadn't clicked with me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Social adds so much to the games we play.
Yeah. Well, and I get that because, you know, you're lucky enough to be in like a heroes team. There's
Right.
always someone on for you to play with. Me, my time is like up and down and crazy. I don't know if it's because of my work schedule or, you know, the podcasting schedule I have or something like that. But I don't usually get on during a time that is conducive to that. Like a lot of my gaming time is like, you know, kind of much later at night, and I'm usually by myself.
Yeah, and that makes it tough. That kind of limits it. So,
Yeah. But I
let me
will
ask
say
you-
this. When Overwatch comes out, I will be playing the crap out of that game, and I'm going to get as many people with me as possible.
Well,
Because that is the one that is going to be my heroes.
Well, Ben, here's my invitation to you on the show. Anytime that I am on Overwatch or Heroes or Diablo,
Yeah?
you're more than welcome to join.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, assuming there's room.
Oh.
I don't always have say on throwing people out, but you're more than welcome to join us. So if you see everybody on a game you want to play, join us. Be one of us, and we'll just say one of us the entire time on Skype.
That might not be as much fun as you think. Just
No,
one of us, one of us, one of us.
Yeah.
Guys, they're breaking through the bottom lane. One of us, one of us. Seriously, guys, I'm on low down here. One of us. That might not be fun.
It could be a good time.
Yeah, but dude, Overwatch, holy crap, am I excited for that? And seriously, we will stream the crap out of that game. And
assuming we get in.
I'm so hoping we do. If not, I am going to do everything I can to make connections and pull strings and everything, because I need
I'm not
that
proud.
game.
I'll beg. I'm not proud.
Yeah, I'll beg too. I will beg a lot of people.
Well,
I will beg friends of friends if I have to. I don't like doing that, but I will. And I know friends of friends.
well, we'll see what happens. If you haven't heard, to anybody who might be excited about Overwatch, 27th is the date for the beta on that. And boy, does it look good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already played it, but...
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you notice on the map there's no Overwatch section for BlizzCon?
I did notice that.
I really hope that there's a way to play it there, because I need to play that game more.
There has to be. I've heard somebody say that they're using a
old map. Makes sense.
So.
Okay, cool. That was a
We'll
lot
be
of car.
fine. Oh yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about that as well, because I didn't confirm it last week. We are both going to be at BlizzCon this year.
Even more so, on that Saturday at 3 p.m., we are going to be doing a live show from the AIE Guildhall.
Yep, and if you've heard previous Azeroth roundtables, it's not changing. We're basically going to...
geek out about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be very excited. We're going to talk about everything, and we're going to just let people come up and talk to us until we tell them, go away. So
yeah, as nicely as possible, unless they really need to be told earlier.
I mean, here's my thought, Ben.
Yeah.
If I'm mean from the get-go, then nobody will be offended. It's just like, oh, that's just John. That's just how he says goodbye, is get out of here. Then it's fine. Then nobody gets upset, because that's just how I treated everybody.
Okay, apparently there is an Overwatch section. Thank you, Chief. Whew. Because otherwise, I was going to raise heck.
So anyway, that's going to be exciting. We're going to be there. We're going to be on the World of Podcasts panel again. So you
it's not World of Podcast. It's the Con Before the Storm.
The Con Before the Storm.
The Storm Before the Con. One of those. Which we need to talk about what we're actually doing for that. Not right now, but...
We're going to sit down...
and probably talk to someone.
We're going to just say, what do you guys want to talk about?
Woo!
You guys like Mario Maker?
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, can you imagine if there was like some sort of WoW dungeon creator that you can do like Mario Maker?
Hey, look, we live in a world... Ben, we live in a world where Nintendo has directly influenced the World of Warcraft we play in.
That's true.
Pokemon has influenced pet battles, Animal Crossing has influenced garrisons. It is entirely possible that Mario Maker might influence some future World of Warcraft expansion.
Well,
that's the funny thing.
I did tweet Corey Stockton and asked if he had the game yet. And the answer is he hasn't written back.
Not since we asked him about tacos, has he
twice
ignored us.
Twice.
More than now. So it could very well influence things to come. You never know. That's one of the exciting things about looking at other games. You never know what's going to inspire. That's sort of been... It's been a thing I've been thinking about a lot lately. You never know what's going to inspire someone. You could be, playing Mario Maker. The right developer plays it, it inspires the next big WoW feature. Likewise, WoW, the content within it might inspire somebody to go out and make what the future of MMOs is going to be. For all we know, WoW inspired Destiny, which, a lot of people are like, this is what this is what MMOs are becoming, is what a lot of people are saying. Like, the traditional MMO is dead. This is kind of where the future is headed. And you just never know. Sometimes you just see something and it inspires you to do great works.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you should go to geekasylum.etsy.com and pick up the official Azeroth Roundtable pendant or keychain. Show it with pride. Who knows? You might be responsible for the next WoW expansion.
Although I will say, if one of the next WoW expansions has a note block, I may quit the game. I hate those things.
I'm going to put so many note blocks in the next level I send you.
I know you will.
Nothing but note blocks.
That's the name, just nothing but note blocks. And then just have one at the very end.
Yeah. I learned something about note blocks before we move on.
Okay.
I have discovered the thought process is like, oh, I'll be nice. I'll put a couple note blocks together so it's a bigger platform.
Oh, that's harder.
Makes it worse. It is actually nicer to put a single solitary note block in a level than it is multiple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, John, where can people find you?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more about what I'm up to, you can follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger. You can also catch me on the NVIDIA stream as part of the Experience show. That is 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Experience points?
What did I say?
The Experience show?
Yeah, the Experience. I like, we're casual.
You like experiences.
We're keeping it cash.
We do experiences.
That's twitch.tv/NVIDIA, 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday. Oh, man. What's going on?
Isn't it daylight time right now? So be Pacific Daylight Time?
Sure. Why not?
I don't know. We live in Arizona. Who cares?
You can also catch me on Core. That is the Frog Pants Studios Heroes of the Storm podcast, where I get to talk about Heroes of the Storm and not get in trouble for it.
Yeah. I never made you in trouble. Only the listeners did.
I know. Well, now I don't have to get in trouble with listeners. I can talk about it all I want.
Yeah.
And I don't get yelled at. And you can also check out the return of my new show. Go ahead and figure that one out. Parallel Words. That's at parallel-words.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes. Check it out. It's for people who like short stories.
Yep, and if you're looking on iTunes, make sure you do the correct feed. Check the dates, because when I was looking, there are 2 feeds there.
There are. I can't get rid of that second feed.
Can you change the picture to pure black like ours?
I'm going to do that.
That's a good
idea. I hit
a
thing that said block from iTunes, and it does not block from iTunes. So, gonna have to fix that. So, yeah, those are the places you can check me out. Ben, what about you? You're busy.
I am. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Ben the Mage. I do stuff there, like talk. Yep. Other than that, I'm on Geektopia. Yeah, I do. I say things.
Continue.
Okay. I do another show called Geektopia. The last few episodes have actually been a D&D game. We're going to be continuing that next week, so lots of fun with that. I do a show called Battle Pets with Eludra. It's about battle pets, so yeah. As for this show, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. If you have any questions, comments, want to shout at me for, being stupid when it comes to Loot Pinata games, send an email to azerothroundtable@gmail.com. If you want to listen to past episodes, you can always find them in our archive at azerothroundtable.com, as well as on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn. Last but not least, our music contains music from Volatile Reaction by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at incompetech.com.
Ben's last tweet was 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We'll tweet out the link.
Mm-hmm. And we did.
Let's see what your last not directed at anyone specific tweet was.
Okay, let's see. I can probably find it faster than you. Well, maybe not.
Oh, I guess it helps if I show the code and then a picture of a code.
Yep, that's right. So I talk to people sometimes.
You talk to people a lot.
Yeah.
I had to go a ways to find that.
What? It was just 21 hours ago. And then also 21 hours ago was second level is done and out there. And I didn't put the code. Oh,
Erlina, I'm sorry me reading Ben's tweets are putting you to sleep. Hold on, let me talk about StarCraft for a little while.
Oh.
The show's over. It doesn't always get better. We need you to miss that the show is going on so that you want to continue to listen to the show.
Mm-hmm.
If what we do after the show is better than the show itself, that's a bad sign. So we got to keep this real mundane. Real mundane. Also, I'm sorry I totally surprised everybody with the t-shirt ad and I made you throw your hat.
That was pretty funny, actually. So for post-show, I'm tempted to go and play your level and swear at you this whole time.
You totally should.
I totally should.
Can you do a thing where you like aim your webcam, like dangle it over your shoulder?
There's no way I can do that.
Okay, what if you turned in your chair and played it up like this?
I can try that. You promise not to make faces at me?
I promise not to make faces at you. I just want to see it.
Okay, you might not be able to hear me as well because of the mic and everything too.
Well, I mean, you do what you got to do.
We'll try it. We'll see. Hold on. Let me...
I'm trying to see what adapters come out of this thing.
You have to use the charging one at top in order to use it as a capture kit, I think. Or that's just a power cord. And what you do is you get a capture card, hook an HDMI cable into the PC, and then use it as a second screen that way. I looked it up because I was like, it'd be so much fun to do. Anyways, I will go get my Wiimote. Oh. Hey,
Wiimote.
What do you know?
Oh, look at... Wow!
Thank you.
Production quality.
That is very good service. Yeah. Yeah, all right. We're going to see if this works.
What about the way Blizzard went about the reviewing of Overwatch, guys? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I'll review it. It's awesome.
What Overwatch guys did they review?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think I got to move the mic like way over here. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw my retweet, but the Yeti came out as like the best plug-in to the PC USB mic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this isn't going to work all that well.
No, I can't really see what's going on.
I got to... There we go. Kill the fly, though.
Oh, I can hear it, though.
Yeah. That really doesn't help. Let's see if I zoom in.
Oh, I can kind of see it. I mean, if you can zoom, that's more ideal, but...
Well, let me see. Hold on.
Oddly, I can see it better from the side.
Okay.
Side-ish.
Controls. There we go. Let's see. We'll zoom like all the way in. Oh, that's my face.
Oh, whoa.
There. We'll try this. Playing this high is like weird though.
Okay.
Is this bad?
I'll direct you a little bit because you can still hear me, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You need to go a little more to your left and, if possible, up. Or wait, maybe that's your right.
Yeah, I'm not going up.
Okay. Yeah, that's about as good as it's gonna get.
Oh, yeah, 8 stars. Good job.
I do?
Yeah. Okay, we'll do the Bowser Castle so that someone can clear it. Okay. I'm only gonna do this like once or twice because this is like really uncomfortable.
Oh, weird. Yeah, because it's mirrored, you're going right to left on this.
Now, question: did you put this part in because
you know what I just realized?
What?
I was looking at the Skype window, and I was not looking at what the chat can see. The chat room can't see you at all because the border's on. You have to turn the border off.
Hold on. Damn it. Yeah, that's what happens when I'm like trying to think of, okay, let's do this and that. Hold on. Oh, pause. Let's get rid of you, and you. Oh, no, that's me. There.
I wonder if I could do any setup with my webcam to let people see.
Okay, this is probably not going to help as much, but...
Sorry, people, my camera's gonna go crazy. Don't look at mine for a minute.
Yeah, we gotta learn how to... or get a capture kit or something, because this would be fun.
Yeah, we really do.
How about after I get my mixer? Now, did you put these blocks in here because some people don't know about the spin jump?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're like, oh, they jump over there, and guess what? They don't know where the hell they're going.
Okay.
Playing at this angle is weird, by the way. It's like throwing me off. And that's my excuse.
Ugh.
Damn it.
I need to not do this aimed at my... laying my hands on my keyboard here. Okay.
Too soon.
Too soon,
Oh,
executives.
too soon. So close.
Alright, chat. I've got a pretty good solution for you. I'm gonna play the same level. So you can see how it's done.
If I beat you, I'm gonna laugh. Stupid note block.
Who designed this thing?
There's your stupid... This is the farthest I've gone, by the way.
Alright, I am just starting the level.
Hey, I got greedy and wasn't punished. I hope this door doesn't kill me.
Oh crap. Oh, crap.
Nice.
I started watching you, and I nearly died for it. Thankfully, in the event you get hit,
Whoa.
I totally hit something.
Oops. Let's go over here.
Ugh. Stop it, Baby Bowser, you're the worst.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
Ah! I died in my own level, Ben. You're gonna totally beat this before I beat it. This is embarrassing.
Beat it.
Good job, Ben, you did it!
I'm the
See,
first
that wa-
person to beat that.
That wasn't that hard.
No, that wasn't that bad. Lifted higher. Sorry, guys, I can't even see the screen when I'm doing that. Yeah, this isn't going to work out too well because that is very uncomfortable to play that way.
Well, here, I'll turn the volume up on mine now, seeing as I'm the one still playing.
Here, you get the moose back. Oops. There we go. Go, John, go! Oh, good. I'm glad you can mostly see. Okay, let's give you a star.
Alright, I got a star for my level.
Let's give you a comment.
Uh-oh. See how deftly I navigated those, music blocks?
Yeah, I'm not watching.
Wishes he could do that.
What? I did it, like, really well. Oh, that's a smart idea. Get up there, cheat, go that way. Ah. Oh, that was a bad move.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Just run through them. That's how I beat it.
I mean, I could. It's more fun to just
Yeah, kill
fight
him.
him.
There you go. Comment has been sent. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, John, I think that's a post show.
Let's post show. We played
Mainly because I'm
Mario
knocking
Maker.
crap over.
Yeah. Ah, crap. Yeah, crap.
Good job. I like that level.
Thank you. I'm quite pleased with how
I'll
that
do your
level-
haunted 1-1 in a bit.
Oh, you should totally do the haunted 1-1.
Okay, I'm not going to turn the camera so everyone can see.
No, don't turn the camera. Just play it.
But, okay. I don't know. Chat room, are you happy with this?
They've all left.
Yeah. Dark Okies, we don't know what you said about the Overwatch reviews.
Oh, did you hear they took a whole bunch of streamer, YouTuber, Blitz HQ, paid for the whole trip, including dinner, etc., to show them how good Overwatch was, but it's not a paid promo. That's not uncommon.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the reality. I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh, Jeebus! I'm guessing you have to go back that way.
Yep.
Oh my god!
Like, okay.
Oh,
Here's,
jeez.
okay, I'll turn mine so you guys can see the level.
Oh,
So-
that was awesome.
Here's my secret to streamers, websites, press, all of that. And follow this advice, you will be a happier person for it, I promise you. Only follow people you trust.
Yeah.
If you don't trust them, don't listen to their thoughts on it. If you think they might have done something lascivious or that their views might be influenced by having dinner bought for them, then that's not a streamer you need to trust the opinions of.
Whoa.
And I would say that same thing about us. If you don't think we're telling you the truth about how we feel, first of all, we're really masochistic because we get in a lot of trouble for what we say.
Yeah, you more
But-
than me.
But secondly, you know, then that's fine. Okay. So, here we go. This is Haunted 1-1. I made this. This is the level Ben's currently playing. And it is designed to look pretty much exactly like regular Mario Brothers 1-1,
Ghost
but
rings.
there's a little twist. So, we'll get there.
Guess where I am, John?
You found it.
Yep.
In fact, it's so 1-1, it even has the 1-up.
I know, I was looking for it. Did you hear? Oh, that was cool. I don't trust the pipe. Which I'm guessing that's smart. Alright!
Okay, so this is what Ben's freaking out about, is this wall of death fire that I put right at the very end of the level. So you can't go that way.
You know what, Dark Okies? Blizzard's going about it just fine. Streamers are just streamers. They play the game. They're not critics. Plus,
Blizz brings people out to events all the time. It is not uncommon. They want people to cover their events. They want people to talk about them. Okay, you gotta go down this pipe. So here's where it's different. Down there is your normal subworld for 1-1. But if you jump over here... Oop, I didn't make it.
yep, I didn't the first time either.
Hold on. Now I gotta go back around the pipe.
Yeah, and Mammoth, you're right. They might not say it or put it on their channel that's what happened. Then that's a problem with the streamer themselves. It has nothing to do with Blizzard. And I'm not saying that because I'm like a Blizzard fanboy or apologist or anything. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, how do you want them to get people to go to events and interact with it? Like, if they want to invite streamers... Ugh, I forgot that was there.
Yeah, you did a good job. I was lucky. All of mine went to the right. Oh.
Oops.
I noticed that you really like the whole running over one gap thing.
Yeah, because it's a trick not everybody knows, and they think you're mean if they don't.
That part was cool. Well, only 4 people have cleared my first one out of 29.
Also, if you jump right here, there's a secret ghost.
Yeah, I found that. Where does that other pipe go? Just a horrible, horrible place?
Nowhere, I believe.
So right there? Oh.
Okay. Now I can move my webcam back. Anyway, now that I'm not distracted by playing Mario. Look,
It's an issue that we have.
the reality is this. Most streamers do not make a ton of money. And they're located all over the country. And so getting them to Blizzard HQ to demo a game is something very cool, but not easy for a streamer to do. Most of them have other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So paying for the trip is not ridiculous. Now, do I think that they should share that with people? I totally think they should. But at the same time, like, you have to ask yourself why it bothers you. Does it bother you because you now believe that they're not giving a genuine opinion on Overwatch? Or does it bug you because they got to do something cool and you didn't? And I'm not speaking directly to you, Dark Okies. I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? If it bothers you, what is it exactly that's bothering you about it?
Well, let's put it this way, John. If Blizzard, I don't know, gave you a free lunch and said, here's my content about WoW or whatever, I know that that's not going to sway you in any way whatsoever because you have a history of completely speaking your mind on stuff that you do.
Well, how about this one? I feel like this episode, I was harsh on the patch. There's nothing for me. I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's very interesting. It's not for me. I have a media pass to BlizzCon. They didn't buy me saying favorable things about their patch by giving me a media pass. Like,
Yeah.
the reality is, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. Now, if you don't believe that what I'm telling you is true, that then falls to either me, or if I'm doing everything I can to be as genuine and upfront about things, then it might ultimately just fall to you. But if I hear a random streamer say, oh, Overwatch is the best thing I've ever played, you got to take that at face value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the thing is, streamers aren't reviewers. They're just playing the game. And anything that they're going to say is some sort of opinion anyway. It boils down to what John is saying of, you have to trust the person that you listen to.
Yeah, I mean, so for the coverage, I watched the streamers play it, and I judged based on the video content I was seeing. When I went to listen to a preview, I listened to GameSpot's preview from Danny O'Dwyer because I am familiar enough with Danny O'Dwyer to trust his opinions on things. I know his history. I know He was at BlizzCon last year. He was meeting up with people who liked World of Warcraft and trying to tell personal stories based on the players. Like, he has a passion and an interest in this beyond just Blizzard brought me to an event. Now, also, he works for GameSpot, who is used to this kind of thing. It's not a streaming website, so this is not uncommon for them. This is nothing crazy, but that gives you an idea of who I listen to as far as opinions. Also, I have a personal opinion because I've played Overwatch. I really liked it. So, and I do see what you're saying, like, by streaming Overwatch, they got a bunch of followers and a bunch of subs that does directly contribute revenue to them. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Blizzard singled them out because they do a good job.
It's like a partnership.
If you watched that stream and you hated it and you thought they were doing an awful job, you probably wouldn't have subscribed to it. So all they really did is get the word out about streamers, which is not uncommon. They've done awards for streamers and stuff like that before. So, you know, if I got to go to a preview event, I would personally say, hey, I went to this preview event. I may not show you a copy of every receipt of everything that happened there, but
yeah,
you would at least know that this was something that was invited to and paid for and all of that.
Oh, so the issue is that they put him under an NDA? That's normal in the game business.
Oh, okay. I don't have my glasses.
My glasses.
If you, in case
I can
anybody's
afford new
wondering why
glasses.
I'm slowly leaning closer into the microphone to try and read.
Yeah.
Some of the content they see is under NDA, meaning they could only talk about what Blizzard let them say. That was your issue. Yeah.
Sorry. That's all I can say to that, really.
Yeah. That's not uncommon. But again, like, that's... So
listen to the Giant Bombcast. I think it was, 2 or 3 episodes ago. They talked something about this entirely, about streamers and taking... Or was it the Beastcast? It had to be the Beastcast, because they talk more about, like, newsy stuff and issues and everything. They had a whole big thing about...
because they... What was it? What was the big thing that happened recently?
It was... I can't remember what the kind of quasi-scandal thing was that happened. Yeah, somebody was playing essentially a game that was purchased for them by the company or something like that, and it got caught after the fact. Or and apparently a lot of streamers do that.
And it's something that happens. You know, I do the NVIDIA stream with Scott. He usually will devote an hour to streaming something on the NVIDIA Shield. He says right up front, just about every episode, that, you know, they like for him to do that. So, you know, I think it comes to just being upfront about what's going on. NDAs, there's nothing you can really do about it. If Blizzard puts an NDA on it, you know,
that's it.
So, okay, let's back up. Let's maybe put this in an easier to contextualize for Ben and myself way. Ben, you and I get invited to go play Overwatch. They say you're going to come in, you're going to get to play Overwatch, you're going to get to stream it and show, you know, people who follow you playing Overwatch. You're going to get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, there is going to be an NDA. We are going to talk about some things you are not allowed to repeat.
Okay.
Ben and I could take a stand and say, no, we need to talk about everything we see.
Then we don't get invited.
Not invited. We don't get to stream it. We don't get to show you anything. And that's the end of that. Or we can go, we can do it, we can stream it, and we can show you what we can show you. And then as we get closer to release, you know, we can talk about...
Yeah, as dates progress, certain restrictions might be lifted, and we can talk about more.
Now, let's add a level to that. Now, they turn around and they say, okay, it's under NDA for the entire time of the beta, which they don't do. Blizzard's actually one of the nicest companies as far as betas. They let people stream it. They let people show it. Most companies during closed beta will not let you stream. I was in the WildStar beta long before that game came out.
Yeah,
and
we alluded to it and never talked about it.
yeah, if you go back and listen to the shows, I'm like, I'm playing a game that I'm not allowed to talk about, but I like it, and I'm having fun with it, and that's all I can say about it. So Blizzard will actually let you stream and show things in closed beta, which is pretty cool of them to do. Not a lot of companies do that. But that doesn't mean that what they are putting out is always the most up-to-date version of the game. So the stuff that's under NDA may not be in the closed beta. It might be stuff that's still in internal testing. We've heard from Blizzard devs that the version of Heroes of the Storm they play internally is like 2 versions ahead of what's on live servers. So it's just there's a lot to consider. There's a lot to think about. I understand how, like, I'm certainly not faulting anybody for wanting to say, like, hey, what's going on? What's the deal with some of this stuff? And having questions. But
The Giant Beast Cast, episode 15, I highly recommend it. They get into really deep discussion about it.
Yeah. So, you know, it basically comes down to who do you trust.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully us. If not, that's fine. We get it. No, really, we do get it.
And so what Dark Okies is saying is, you know, knowing that there's a limit on what they're allowed to say causes issues with trust. That's fine. If you don't trust them, that's fine, but understand that's on you. That's not on, like, Blizzard may have caused that by what they did, but you choosing not to trust them based on that, that's on you. I will say my experience with this sort of stuff, NDAs are typically not some great big secret. Like, I've never seen or signed or participated in an NDA where they said you're not allowed to say our game's bad.
Yeah, that's not what NDAs are for. It's usually about content, or you can't say anything about the game until a certain date. If they're streaming it, they can talk about what they're playing. And if there's a glitch, if there's something bad or something like that, they can say it. They can't be like, you know, look the other way as the game crashes. You know,
right.
That doesn't happen. And if they're doing it, then, you know what, I think that's a personal choice because they feel obligated that they can't say anything bad because they went on this trip or whatever. And if they don't disclose that, that's their thing. It's how they're being treated. NDAs aren't, you can't say bad things about this game. That doesn't happen usually. Like, if it is, I'm really surprised that Blizzard's doing that. Yeah. Like, really surprised. Especially when they're just like, stream it. They know what their game's like.
Yeah, it could be. So, for example, there's a I guess you would call it a quasi NDA, almost on the BlizzCon Media Pass. Mm-hmm. Looking at what it says, just to give you an idea, it limits the amount of footage we're allowed to show you uncut, because they have a partnership with well, I don't know if they have the partnership with DirecTV this year, but I would be surprised if they didn't.
Still.
But they sell a video live stream. It's not good business sense to have people putting out huge chunks of the stream when that's something they're trying to make money off of. So
yeah, it's like you're not going to get a feed of the live stream so that you can put it on your website.
Right, and that's about it. Like, looking down the restrictions, it's basically like, hey, we ask that you please limit video clips that you have of the actual stage shows and presentations to roughly whatever amount of time it is, because they they don't want big chunks. So, you know, again, you can't say, hey, Blizzard, you know, if you don't trust what Blizzard's doing, you don't trust what Blizzard's doing. And I can't say like, hey, my experience has been they're very forthcoming, very upright, very good, and change your mind. But for full disclosure, like if you ask, hey, what do you think of this? My answer to that question is they probably should have mentioned something about it. Like if they're presenting it as like just, oh, this magically happened. That's not good. But, you know,
Okay.
it's going to be what it's going to be.
If you're not under an NDA, but they're asking you kindly not to talk about lag because you're in Australia and you're not connected to an Australian server, that's an explanation for something that's going on. That's not saying, hey, don't talk about this. There's a difference between saying, we had kind of some lag issues, but that's because the server was located in this country really far away, versus this game's laggy. See, there's a difference there. And maybe it's just because I don't know what they said. I wasn't there. I wasn't part of it. But I don't see that as the same thing as you're presenting. And it could be just because you're text and we're just trying to talk real time with it. That's all I can figure.
Yeah. And again, at the end of the day, you have to be your own judge.
Yep.
Like,
and if it sours you on the experience, then I guess Overwatch isn't for you.
don't buy Overwatch, assuming it costs money.
Yeah.
And we don't know.
No.
I would like to know, because I'll tell you my concern. So watching that Overwatch stream, I was very excited. I'm still very excited for Overwatch. I had a ton of fun playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that has become very clear watching that stream is that the ability to switch between heroes on the fly to counter other teams is a very important aspect of the game. So I really hope they do not charge by the hero.
Yeah.
Because to me...
It's like, holy crap, we need a Winston. I'll get him. It's only $5.
Right.
Where'd all my money go?
Like, you can't gimp your player base to say that, you know, okay, the best way to counter this combo of people is these people, but you may or may not have them. Man, if you had only given us $5, you could have countered that combo, but you didn't, so I guess not. So I really hope they don't go that way. But I heard, I don't remember where it was. It might have been on the last episode of The Instance, but anyway, wherever it was, they suggested that it would be a full retail price game and then have DLC, where, like, here's a new pack of DLC, you get new maps and new characters with it. That seems more okay. But you get everything that's currently in the game each time you buy the thing. Like, that seems like an okay way to go. Pricing depends, but I'm very curious.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. So, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching our escapades, and we'll see you next week.